What's up, guys? We are back in Arizona City. It's quite far, so this is going to be probably the last update on this property, but it's fully renovated. This one took way longer than what we should have taken on it. Not really a reason why, besides just the proximity to Phoenix is very far, so we weren't out here, or our guys weren't out here nearly as much as we should have. This project should have taken about 4 weeks, but it ended up being September, mid-September we bought it, and it's February now, so that gives you guys a sense of how much longer it took than normal. I wasn't the biggest fan of this property from the beginning. I'm not too familiar with Arizona City. I think it needed a lot more work than when we originally walked it. But nonetheless, I think the exit on this is what it is. I mean, this one's cashed out, so we have no hard money loan on it or anything, which is a lot less stressful, and that's probably another reason why we took our time on it, because we didn't have ticking time of interest payments every month. But very cosmetic updating here. We didn't take down any walls. We didn't frame out any specific closets, reframe or restructure any of the bedrooms or anything like that. So what you guys see is how this was originally built in the 80s. These are beautiful, great rental properties out here because the purchase prices are so low. But we bought this house for $165,000, ended up being like $168 all in after closing costs, because we covered the seller's closing costs as well. Gave them a post possession too, so that's another reason why it took a little longer. I think we gave them 3 weeks after the close of it. Budget, I believe we're at around $40,000 for this, which was spot on to what I budgeted when I walked through it. This is kind of like one of the best looking houses, or this is one of the best looking houses in all of Arizona City. Just the price point down here, you don't get these types of renovations with the backsplash, the waterfall countertops. So I think that's why we were able to get this one under contract quite quickly with multiple offers as well. It comes with a garage too, which is really nice for out here. Kitchen's very open. We did remove some cabinets that were here previously. That was just like kind of the 80s style, was have more enclosed kitchens. We opened that up, went with this. Everything you guys see here is like very affordable. So we went with the discounted slab. I think it was like $500 here. Discounted subway tiles, super cheap. Cabinets are all brand new. We come out here. This is a brand new slider too, so it's cool. This is an Arizona room, no ducting, so you have to keep that in mind. There's no venting here, so this is not in the square footage. You come over here as well. You got your utility room with a brand new water heater, and then your washer and dryer hookups connected to the house. In the summertime, this room would get very, very hot. You could throw like a little window unit over here, or get a mini split in here, and then you can count this square footage. I don't want to unlock that door. It took 5 minutes for me to lock it back up, so let's just look through this window at the backyard. Super basic backyard. We didn't spend any money besides a cleanup. And then you guys see that shed back there, fully enclosed with a garage door too. So that is super helpful, because a lot of the buyer pull out here wants extra storage. No HOA. I don't think there's maybe one community in all of Arizona City that has an HOA, so this is pretty typical. But in terms of like single family detached house 1980s builds in the mid 200s, and you can rent this place out for probably $1,800 a month, it's not a bad deal. You don't find these type of prices in the Phoenix area anymore. So little look at the bathroom. Like I said, everything was very cost effective. Even the tile over there is actually one of my favorite tiles for how affordable it is. Super small, sorry, space. We'll make our way into the primary. This place was very disgusting, but like I said, I mean, it was an 80s build, so it's not like we were dealing with any spotty electrical or cast iron plumbing or anything like that, which makes it a lot nicer. And this is the walk-in shower that was a tub before. One thing I want to note, now that we're on that topic, I prefer like disgusting houses that have never been renovated whatsoever, because a lot of what we're running into as of lately is like spotty renovations from previous owners, and it's so hard to tell. Like the house in Chandler, for example, we also have a house in Goodyear that was renovated but just not properly done, and it's like thousands of extra dollars that you wouldn't even know you have to spend until you start tearing things down. When you go and look at the electrical, you go and look at the plumbing, you go and look at how they did certain things, like certain things aren't up to code from like the previous owner, either cutting corners or doing it themselves. So when I see a house that's just absolutely disgusting, but I can tell it hasn't been touched, awesome, because then at least we know it's like mainly cosmetic. We're not going to tear down something. We're not going to go look deeper into the electrical and see a bunch of sketchy stuff in the attic and stuff like that, because we're running into problems on both those properties right now from what looked to be a good property, and then you start getting into the renovations and it's just frustrating. But that's it, guys. This is like a 1,200 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, super entry level home. Would make a great rental, but we already have this under contract to an awesome VA buyer. So hopefully this goes through. I'm not going to post this video quite yet until we pass the inspection, everything like that. But overall, we got it under contract we listed it for $250, had probably 5 or 6 showings the first week, accepted an offer, I think 5 or 6 days in, to a VA buyer, like I said, full list price offer with 3% concessions, which is like a $242 net for us. And then we bought it for $168. Like I said, probably put a little over $40 into it with closing costs and stuff like that. It's definitely not a home run. It's borderline, was it worth tying up $200,000 for 3 months for the profit that we've made? But we've learned a lot. We've learned so much about Arizona City as well. So now we know these types of homes, what we need to buy them for, what we expect in terms of the type of traction we're going to get when we go list the property, the type of buyers, what the buyers like, the types of renovations we're going to see. And this just helps us if something comes up in Arizona City. We know our buy point now, so it just makes it a lot easier. So I always say it's not always about the money on a lot of these. It's about staying up to date on the market, learning a new market, learning what the buyers want in a specific market, and that is very, very valuable for us. So by no means was this not worth it. I'd say from a monetary aspect, borderline, but overall, it's a learning experience. We made money on it, and we're moving on to the next one. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are ever looking for an investment property, or you guys know anyone that wants to list their property in Arizona or buy a property in Arizona, I will pay you guys a referral fee for any leads that I do end up closing on. So keep me in mind for a real estate agent out here in Arizona. Message me on my Instagram if you guys have any questions. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram as well.